have a good excuse to put on my robe and wizard hat. We're reviewing Pillars of Eternity, developed by Obsidian using the Unity engine. You can pick it up for 50 freaking wet stinky bucks or euros or wherever the hell you live, because that's how much they're going to charge you. But what is it? Prepare to be enchanted by a world in which the choices you make and the paths you choose shape your destiny. Obsidian Entertainment, the developer of Fallout New Vegas and South Park, thus Stick of Truth, together with Paradox Interactive, is proud to present Pillars of Eternity. That blurb basically tells you nothing, but it's Baldur's Gate. If you've played Baldur's Gate, Icewind Dale, Planescape Torment, you know exactly what the hell this game is. So let's kick this off with the Chairquisition. 1 chair means that it's crap. 2 chairs means that it's meh. 3 chairs means that it's pretty good. 4 chairs means that, oh my god, I can't stop coming. My god, your mother's a whore. And of course, we have our categories of doom mixed with the working, shiny sounds, controls, and fun. So let's kick this off. Then, can you show me your Pillar of Eternity?
Giggity. Brother Sfang, being a Unity game, let's just say I had my reservation organs about this. Also, with that price tag on Brad, wasn't really happy about that. But the audience is wondering, then, how did it run on the Ubuntu 1404? LTS, 980 powered, 4K displayed, box of business. I didn't have these FERPS issues that everyone else did. I put it on YOLO, and I'm getting a constant 60, except when it does, the black screen to transition, and that was racist, to another set, it'll do the traditional, no way around it Unity thing. Here's 1 FERPs per second. Fuck you, that's why. That's not enough to ding at a chair. That's just Unity, ladies and gentlemen. So, 4 chairs over here in Vinland. Sfang.
Well, I had the backer beta, so I knew this thing was going to run fine right off the bat. I mean, the backer beta started up. No issue. This game, exact same deal. On the Fedora 21 powered 64-bit AMD 1090T, NVIDIA 670 superclocked box of business. Yeah, ran perfectly smooth. Some frame rate inconsistencies. Sometimes if you go into a menu, it'll drop to 35 frames a second. Back in Overworld, 60. It's fine. Nothing that big good deal. It's what you expect from a Unity game. So 4 chairs.
Yeah, very similar experience here on the Amiga, which is now overclocked at 4 gigahertz on the processor, which is an AMD FX 8370E, and with the NVIDIA GTX 970 Strix, it ran well enough. It was constantly at 60 FERPs, unless, of course, much like Jordan said, you open the inventory screen. Oh, look, 41 frames per second. Why? Fuck all idea. Close the inventory. Whoop. Back up to 60. Alrighty then. As long as you're consistent. 4 chairs.
Alright, so that's 4 chairs to mix with working. Shiny and Sounds is up next. Ben, were you wowed or were you blood?
3.9 million wet, stinky caches. And we got this? Question mark? Seriously, I'm sorry, but your isometric graphics, everything's in 3D, look like a fistful of meh for 3.9 million wet, stinky caches. Seriously, the Torchlight 2 character models looked better than this. How come only half the shite during the Choose Your Own Adventure game, which is also embedded in this, has voice acting? Sometimes they'll talk, and you're like, oh, that's great, and I can do other things, and squirrel around. Other times they're like, just silent. Very inconsistent with that. $3.9 million, again, ladies and gentlemen. And where is that epic soundtrack, Brad? It's just not there. What is there is bland. So it looks meh, and it sounds meh. And you really couldn't splooge on the extra voices for everyone? I don't see why not. I'm going to give you 2 chairs, because that is what you deserve.
I've always been of the opinion that Infinity Engine-style games tend to age very gracefully, and this is no exception. The backgrounds look good, and the character models are well done. It's a vast improvement from if you played Baldur's Gate, even the enhanced editions that were released under Linux. They didn't really look as good as this, so that is a nice touch. The voice acting is also pretty solid, although, like Ven, I am very, very miffed about how inconsistent it is. Sometimes you got voice acting, sometimes in the same conversation you will not have voice acting, and that I think is just kind of lazy. What the hell's up with that? The soundtrack, it was kind of
maybe it'll be DLC.
You know what? I put on some Blind Guardian because that's the kind of music I want to listen to when I'm slaying dragons. So no points for the OST, but still, for the game, for what it is, for this style of game, it looks great. It sounds great. I'll give it 3 cheers.
Yeah, first thing when I got in game, I'm like, look at all the 3D models and all the 2D backgrounds. And then, of course, there's the sounds. I mean, Justin Bell is trying very, very hard to be like Mark Morgan or Jeremy Soule, but he's failing miserably at it. The background music is nowhere near as good as Fallout 2's, which was made by Mark Morgan, or Icewind Dale's, which was Jeremy Soule. And even considering that, the nostalgia still kicked in the moment I saw the Baldur's Gate, the Icewind Dale style cursor. I'm like, yeah, I know this. And for what it is, and the 4 hours I've sunk into the game thus far, I can't really ding it more than 1 chair for all its problems, so 3 chairs.
All right, so that's 2 chairs for the shinny and the sounds. And now for the control, then.
Full disclosure, I've never really been a fan of isometric games like this. It was a product after my time. I was on Linux, and we didn't have a lot of them. And let's be fair, going back and playing this on DOSBox, no, I lived through those times. I don't need to revisit them. My issue with the controls, it starts up. I'm like, okay, let's move the map around. Let's use WAS, and all this other shit popped up on there. I was like, what? Are you fucking kidding me? How do I do this? Like, oh, click. I shit you not. The middle mouse button on your gerbil. That didn't even exist when these type of games were the bee's knees. And I found it very unintuitive. And I was like, I'll change everything, but then I have to remap all this other shit. Then I went into a fit of rage and gave Hitler some Cheetos. It was brilliant. Outside of that, once you just accept your fate, that you're going to be controlling almost everything with your gerbil, it's not bad. But then you want to move, you can move the map, and you scroll in, scroll out, but your left, right, up, and down axes by coming over to your far right, far left, up and down on the screen. That's great, but not great when you're playing it at 4K resolution. That takes a lot of swing space, Brad. Wasn't a fan of that. But these two heathens are going to tell me that it's special sauce, and I should be grateful for this. But over here in Vinland, it gets 2 chairs.
Well, to speak to your point, back when the style of the game was a thing, the 3-button mice were things that you could buy for the PS2s and whatnot. So that kind of worked. Anyways, this is pretty much the same sort of control scheme you would expect from
honestly, a 3-button mouse would have made perfect sense.
Planescape Torment. But and I mean, yeah, you're basically going to be doing it all with the mouse, because the only interaction you're going to have with your keyboard is hitting escape to save constantly, or hitting space to pause, and that's it. So beyond that, all the mouse controls, perfect. Oh yeah, and inventory if you hit I or whatever, or C for the character screen. But
and
even
slowdown's like A or something, or as.
Yeah, no, I mean the WAS thing was a bit stupid, but I didn't really use it. I was just using my mouse the entire time, so no real issue with that. I would say this game controls exactly as intended, and I basically picked this up coming from the context of Baldur's Gate Icewind Dale. Started playing, no issue, so I'm gonna give it 4 chairs for that.
Yep, and back in the day, WASD wasn't really a thing. Most people would use the directional keys to move around, up, down, left, right. And that's how I learned to play Fallout 2, and that's how I played through Icewind Dale 1, and that's how I started playing Baldur's Gate back in the day. And this one, well, I felt right at home. Everything works as it's supposed to. You go looking for things and they're in a sensible place. You got the central HUD with everything. You can just click on it, or you can just push the keys on the keyboard for the appropriate screen. And it works. I can't really think of a chair for this one. 4 chairs.
All right, so that's 3 chairs for controls. And finally, our subjective category, Foon. Ven, did you enjoy yourself? Probably not, but go into detail.
Well, let me explain. I set for full on straight. I know that's sexist. Playing this thing, thinking.
Homophobic, then. Homophobic.
For 44 wet, stinky caches, I'm going to find something to have fun with in this game. I didn't. I played as the barbarian elf, and after finding the quickest ways to bypass the endless character customization bullshit, we find ourselves in a wagon train. Everyone gets killed to death -2. They get noped. You kill a bear, and not the sexy kind. Hey, a town. Oh, fucking look, shite went south soon as I showed up. Mix that in with a metric fuck ton up to just the dialogue that adds so... Wait, all right, I'm back. This is the type of game that I would bring with me if I was to be stuck on an island with an Aquita reactor plus a laptop and they didn't allow me to bring a flashlight. Seriously, I get it. It's customizable. And look at all the stats and the story. Oh my god, barbecue and... Like last week's game, if I'm on into it and nothing has happened that has made me care about it, don't expect me, Vince Stone, to soldier on, son. So, 2 chairs for the fun, begrudgingly, he said.
Yeah, this is your traditional CRPG, so if you were not a fan of this style of game, you're probably not going to enjoy it. That said, on normal, this game is fuck you hard. You will get killed to death a lot. Make no bones about it. Luck and planning will go a long way. You gotta make sure that your strategies are on point and that you keep your damn fingers crossed. Also, count on your casters running like headfirst. Like, go cast a spell here. All right, I'm gonna cast it right next to the enemy. Oh god, I'm dead. What did you do for? What did you do this, master? Why? Yeah. You gotta save often. But it really does harken back to the old Infinity Engine games, and I'm having fun playing it. Yeah, Cairo Timus in chat realm basically sums it up very, very nicely. Normal equals fuck a blunder. Yeah. No, you will die a lot. Pedro made it to level 3. I'm only at level 2. So the progression in this game can be pretty slow, but it is very much like playing a D&D game on your PC. It's not D&D though. It is its own system. I think the experience progression is the exact same as 3.5, which was like, huh, that's interesting. But beyond that, it is its own game. It has its own system. And so far I'm having fun. I'm gonna certainly keep playing it. So 3 chairs.
This game reminds me, the combat system is very similar to Neverwinter Nights, and the visual presentation is more along the lines of Temple of Elemental Evil. So yeah, it is totally D&D, except it's not. But they did, I guess those $3.9 million that they got from the Kickstarter went to lore, because there's a fuck mothering ton of lore in this game. People, whichever NPC you talk to, will start name-dropping deities and wars and cities, and it's absolutely insane. Now, I will... This is an Obsidian game, and I give Obsidian a lot of shit because after Neverwinter Nights 2, Knights of the Old Republic 2, Fallout New Vegas, they deserve a proper skull-fucking. But this game is actually a step forward, kinda. It's kinda like they reached back in time to the days that they were still called Black Isle, and they simply made another game in that style. They're good with first-party titles. It's when it comes to picking up someone else's IP that they suck at. Yeah. But it is very much a fun game. I loved it. Like Jordan said, I got up to level 3. I'm playing a paladin, and I just unlocked the thing that makes my sword go on fire. So if I land a critical hit, it's like 60 damage.
That's
on
called
average.
syphilis.
It's amazing. I like it. It's very much my dice. 4 chairs.
One note about the lore thing. If you actually did back it on Kickstarter, like I did, you got metric tons of emails going into depth explaining what all the lore is. And I kind of stopped reading about midway through. So there's that. The journal, if you go to the journal, it actually does give you a good breakdown so that you're not completely lost. You're just going to be semi-lost by the time the conversation is over. So that's 3 chairs for fun. Tally that all up, and we get a 3-chair game for Pillars of Eternity. Gentlemen, final thoughts.
I'm just going to close this business with, during our pre-show, before we get on the live streams and make with the entertainments, he says, ironically. If you would like to call what we do entertainment, is I hear these 2 heathens like, oh, I can't kill the bear. And George's like, I finally killed the bear. I noped that bear day 1 by myself. In your face, Organ.
It took me 3 people to do it, but not 5 guys.